let's talk a little bit about GTA 6. The Gooners on the GTA 6 subreddit actually raised some pretty interesting points. We've got less than 8 months until November 19th release of GTA 6, and we still know next to nothing about Rockstar's long-awaited sequel. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We're inching closer and closer to the release of the game, and yet we still have not seen it. That won't stop you from pre-ordering. We know it takes place in Vice City. We know there are two main characters who are also a couple, Jason and Lucia. Presumably you steal some cars at some point. Internet rumors of a dedicated twerk button have been sadly disproven. That's really about it. With only 2 gameplay trailers to pour over for clues, there are no gameplay trailers. Those are in-engine trailers, but they're not gameplay. GTA fans have become more philosophical in their speculation. I said this like a month ago. When it comes to speculation, ball and gun gamers usually don't have any type of imagination, but when it comes to Grand Theft Auto, they let their imagination run wild, bruh. People who've never read a fiction book in their life, who call Star Wars corny, that imagination goes into Ultra Instinct when it comes to GTA 6. Man, we're gonna be able to play hockey. We're gonna be able to hit licks. We're gonna be able to play Uno. We're gonna be able to go to space. Just saying shit. Just fucking. And hey, listen, I ain't even mad at it. You know, I like when people are that excited. It makes for good content. This shit's fucking funny, dude. We gonna be fucking bitches in space. That shit gonna be lit, bro. I'm gonna be saying, listen, nigga, it's gonna be a mission in Grand Theft Auto 6 where we gotta go to the moon. And then when we stand on top of the moon rock, we gotta serve a fiend a crack rock, which gonna make him feel like he on Jupiter, nigga. It's gonna be the best mission in GTA 6. That imagination runs wild. One of the most discussed topics this past week for the GTA 6 subreddit is the likelihood that lesbian sex will be depicted at the game. Yo, these niggas are hungry for some gameplay, which quickly snowballed into a broader conversation about how the game is going to handle adult situations as a whole. People swear listen, a good joke is a half truth. That's why a lot of you niggas are not funny. Earlier, that nigga in the chat said, you got porn on your computer, don't you? And I was like, I don't get it. It's not fucking funny. There's no truth to that. We're just talking about video games right now. That's why I tell the jokes. When I talk about these niggas' imaginations be running wild, you see what I'm talking about? They talking about freaked out coochie licking lesbian missions, dog. It's niggas in the GTA subreddit right now begging the developers to put a mission in a game where you get to play as a chick who spreads another chick's legs wide open. You stick your mouth in her pussy and you shout, will Lucia have the option to hire escorts? If so, this will require different animations than they were previously used in the HD universe. Will it be a non-option like the Red Dead Redemption route? Or will it trigger a cutscene akin to a Hollywood movie that leaves out the X-rated stuff? Asks our Reddit user. But if they do leave it in, will there be will they have mocap scissoring in GTA 6 is nasty. This is disgusting. Dear Rockstar developers, can y'all please show some gameplay? These motherfuckers are out of control. Why would you want that in a game? Is that supposed to be a QTE event? It's gonna be really interesting to see how Rockstar approaches this. While I am too skeptical of the prospect of mocap scissoring, is it indeed interesting to think about how Rockstar will approach sex in GTA 6, particularly with the couple at the center of the story? On the one hand, it's safe to say that AAA games have generally become more prudish in the willingness to depict sex in the years since Grand Theft Auto 5 and The Witcher 3. It's hard to reconcile the somber dad Kratos. Yeah, they're yapping right there. If GTA 6 were to keep this trend, we can expect to see some jiggle physics on display in Vice City strip clubs, perhaps some nude torsos before a tasteful fade to black, and nothing more risque than that. I don't think Rockstar has any plans to revive the infamous hot coffee sex minigame from Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, given the firestorm of controversy it sparked back in 2005. Also, that wasn't in the game. It was removed. but they found some of the code in the game still and they reconstructed it as a mod. It was never supposed to be seen in the first place. An alternative approach would be to include a nudity toggle in the settings in the vein of Cyberpunk 2077. On the other hand, big budget games that do feature erotic scenes have become more inclusive in their depictions of sex in the recent years. Yes, people get a kick out of this idea that you could have sex with a bear in 2023's Baldur's Gate 3, but plenty more people were just delighted to smooch in bed whoever they wanted, regardless of gender, orientation, or even species. It helps enormously that Baldur's Gate 3 is a strategically deep game with a compelling story, but it's no joke that all these lusty possibilities brought more paying customers to Larian's ambitious RPG. But that's different though, right? When it comes to RPGs like Baldur's Gate 3 or like Mass Effect, like any BioWare, when you get to romance a character, I think the fun of it is just trying to figure out like what's the correct answer. But I don't actually care about like the actual sex scene. That never did anything to me. Specifically, what made Baldur's Gate 3 more, at least in my opinion, specifically what made Baldur's Gate 3 sex stuff fun was, for those who haven't played the game, you can literally fuck everybody on your team. So my goal was to fuck everybody on the team and then make them fight each other, but we still had to save the day. I was trying to create like a super ultra instinct dysfunctional version, even more dysfunctional version of the Fantastic Four. You see what I'm saying? To me, that's the fun of just creating just the craziest fucking storyline. But these GTA niggas is talking about scissoring mini games. Like, what are you talking about, bruh? Like, I like the chaos, but these niggas talking about scissoring mini games. A lot will depend on how much flexibility GTA 6 grants players when it comes to the relationship between Lucia and Jason. As one Reddit commenter pointed out, if they're adding some sort of relationship meter similar to Honor and Red Dead Redemption, they're definitely going to add some ways to cheat. There's street hookers, strip clubs, possibly even Tinder-style app in which we'll be able to hook up with random people. No matter how much of the nitty-gritty of these encounters are actually depicted on the screen, this could offer up a ton of interesting and immersive gameplay opportunities. Clam slamming each other. Previous trailers have hinted at some kind of riff on Red Dead Redemption 2's honor mechanic will appear in GTA 6, but there's still a lot we don't know about how the dual protagonist system will work. From a game design standpoint, the path of least resistance is to keep Jason and Lucia true to one another throughout the story. And I'll tell you this much, man. When Rockstar finally reveals Grand Theft Auto 6, I hope they do their own like Sony State of the Play, like Nintendo Direct. Like, do a whole hour-long Rockstar Direct on YouTube and Twitch and just break down everything, man. Show us the drive-in, the shooting mechanics, give a little bit of a story tidbits, shows a little bit of what the online is gonna be like. Like, I want them to do their own. That would break the fucking internet, dude. I don't think they're gonna do it, but that would break the internet. Yo, shout out to Rant with the super chat. He said over 400 watching and less than 150 likes. Get the likes up to 100 billion thousand. That's facts. Get the fucking likes up to 100 million trillion, nigga. Call it the Rockstar rollout type shit. Also, I just want to put this out there. For the sake of representation, some of y'all are not going to like what I have to say about this. This is going to be a super pause moment. But for the sake of representation, first and foremost, I don't think there's going to be a scissoring mini game, right? But we're going to entertain this for a moment. If you want to see gay shit from one side in the video game, for the sake of representation, if Rockstar were to do that, there is a high probability there's going to be gay shit from all sides. So, what I'm trying to say, be careful what you ask for, because some of y'all are immature. You can't handle anything. If there's going to be a scissoring minigame, there's going to be a cocksucking minigame. Yeah, I said it. And you can't get mad if you saw it because you asked for that shit, bruh. You fucking asked for that shit. There's going to be a mission and you walking in and a nigga getting bent over. It is what it is, bruh. Don't bother me. I don't give a fuck. But I know a lot of y'all are immature and you wouldn't be able to handle that shit. So be careful what you ask for. Cause some of y'all on some other shit, bruh. Let's just keep it gaming, bruh. I personally don't care about sex scenes in video games. I just like the romance shit to cause chaos. I like to finesse a chick in the game and then go cheat on her with another teammate and just piss them off type shit and ruin the team morale. That's what I like to do. You said who didn't? Matter of fact, it was in Baldur's Gate 3. Wasn't there a mission where you ran into like an orc bending a dude over or some shit? That shit was fucking funny. That shit was, I believe it was. That shit had me cracking up. You said I'm the toxic king? Type shit. Anyways, if you're curious why I titled the stream on YouTube, about Titanfall 3. Said next topic. Yeah, I went there. I fucking went there. Splitgate, the least likely developer in the world, 1047 developer Splitgate is starting work on a Titanfall style movement shooter. And depending on who you are, you might feel, or you might feel a little. At the close of a video announcing the second season of Splitgate Arena Reloaded, the company's co-founder and CEO Ian Prolix revealed that a small section of the team has started work on a new game. He said that the next project will be a movement shooter in the style of Titanfall and Black Ops 3. Those two tidbits are really all that 1047 Games had to share. People can sign up to participate when playtesting begins, but considering the latest release only just hitting its second season, it's safe to bet we'll have a while before this project gets a title and a trailer, much less a release window. I think it's fascinating that they even have the budget to produce a third game. Well, technically it's their fourth game because they came out with Splitgate, then they shut it down for Splitgate 2, then they shut that down for Splitgate Arena, which is a remake of Splitgate 2. They removed all the features from Splitgate 2 and then made it something basically Splitgate 1 with better graphics. So technically this is their fourth game. And I know Splitgate 2 didn't really make any money, so who the fuck is backing them? I wish a millionaire, a billionaire believed in me the way they believe in these niggas, because they don't make no fucking money, dude. Yeah, they laid off a bunch of people. Splitgate's well made. Oh, they're just talking about the history of Splitgate. Did he say there's somewhere you can sign up for the playtest? Let's see in this video. Oh, here's a sign up. Okay, so their new game, if you want to sign up for the playtest, I got y'all. Here's the link for their new Titanfall style shooter game. If you want to be an early tester for the game, I'm dropping the link in the chat. There you go. Honestly, I might save this for myself. Well, I'll just put it there. Okay, what else I got for y'all? Yeah, Tencent in the side. Oh, I didn't know Tencent had money in them. That would make sense then. In other positive news, analysts say Slay the Spire 2 is the best performing deck builder of all time, and the competition isn't even close. Slay the Spire 2 was an immediate success, delivering a top-selling launch day performance, but as more data emerges, it becomes increasingly clear that Slay the Spire 2's launch is a historic record setter. According to Newzoo's, PC Gamer's official data partner, Slay the Spire 2 is the best performing deck builder of all time and is leading by a massive margin. Steam peak concurrent users, while a flawed metric for a game's ongoing health, provided the clearest image of how Slay the Spire 2 is separated from other games' heavy hitters by the order of magnitude. Belantro peaked at 44,000. Damn, and that got a Game of the Year. Wait, did that win Game of the Year or was it just a nomination? I don't remember. I know it got nominated at least, and that was only averaging 44,000. It got a nom. This might fuck around and get a nomination. Peaked concurrent users in January 2025. Slay the Spire 1 at 57,000. And Monster Train 2 at 18,000 shortly after the May 2025 launch. 3 days after its early access launch, Slay the Spire 2 peaked at 500,000 concurrent players, almost 600,000. This is more than 13 times Belantro's peak, and this is $25 paid early access with no console version yet. Megacrit confirmed 3 million copies sold in the first week. At that price point, that implies roughly $75 million gross revenue before Valve's cut. And I highly doubt that because I mean, it has pretty cartoony, small like graphics. I highly doubt this game was a super expensive game to make. So they're probably pocketing a lot of this fucking money. Even though I threw out my back from overworking, I'm feeling high in spirits. Slay the Spire 2 sold 3 million copies this first week. The devs compared it to an unexciting chicken noodle soup before its extraordinary launch, but it turns out people really, what? Slay the Spire 2's #1 seller on Steam, above Marathon and Resident Evil Requiem. I also saw Marathon only sold like 1.5 million copies, which is okay, but that's not what Bungie needs. Doesn't make it a bad game, but they do need to figure it out. We were talking about it on the podcast. I feel like Marathon is like one DLC away if they hold on, because they're starting to hit their stride and they have a very strong core audience. That game is salvageable. I hope they invest that money well for future projects. Nah, facts. Shout out to Slay the Spire, man. We're gonna be on it tonight. I'm having fun with Marathon so far. I'm gonna be getting on that this week too. I'm back on that shit too. 1 second. All right, what else we got? The PvP is actually amazing. What up, Golden Boy? What you been up to, my boy? Yeah, I played it. Me, Ethos, Watch, JG, we've been playing it. I haven't played it as much as them, but because I was on Resident Evil, and then I got on Crimson Desert, but then I found out my IQ wasn't high enough to play Crimson Desert, so I'm going back to Marathon and Slay the Spire. Surviving. I feel you, bro. I feel you. And in others, other Slay the Spire news, it was announced a board game is coming. The Kickstarter campaign for Slay the Spire board game Downfall expansion is live now. The fan favorite community mod for Slay the Spire 1 is getting its own official expansion to the board game, allowing you and your friends to play as some of the Spire's infamous bosses. If you want to back the Kickstarter, I'm dropping the link in the chat. Me personally, I don't do the Kickstarter stuff. I've been burned one too many times, but I think this one will be okay. They asked for 50,000 and they have over $2 million, man. Shout out, these niggas get money, man. When the full thing comes to release, I might fuck around and actually buy this shit, bro. I need a new board game. Oh my goodness. The cryo map is hard as fuck, fam. I heard that's why I need to get back on that shit. That's why I need to get back on this shit, man. What else I got for ya? Oh, Daybreak Game Company has announced EverQuest Legends, a newly reimagined version of classic EverQuest from its original release in 1999. New game for the unks out there. Got some new unk slop for you. But newly reimagined version of classic EverQuest from its original release in 1999. It's set to release in July of 2026 with a closed beta test scheduled for April. I think there's a trailer in here. That unk slop. For those unaware, this was World of Warcraft before World of Warcraft. Too unk even for me. They got frogs confirmed. These were peak graphics in '99. Nah, I'm cool. Hey, listen, man. It's not my cup of tea. It may not be your cup of tea. I don't think your ducking is on. Oh, shit. Let me turn it on. Oh, yeah, it's not. It's not my cup of tea. It may not be your cup of tea, but there is somebody right now, probably a 40-something-year-old white male with a big-ass beard belly and a thinning hairline and 4 kids by 7 different baby mamas that is very excited about this. You got to understand that. You got to understand. It's not for everybody, bro. Not for everybody, man. Y'all had to be there. They said you had to be there. 4 kids by 7 baby mamas. Hold up. Don't ask me how that's possible. Anything is possible. That's what Justin Bieber said. Never say never. That's a bunch of positive news and less positive news. Nintendo cuts Switch 2 output by 30% due to weak US sales. Nintendo is cutting back the production of the Switch 2 after the demand of the $450 gaming console trailed the company's expectations during the year-end holiday season, particularly in the US. Shout out to Treason with the super chat. LOL, I watched the Crimson Desert review that said exactly everything you went through, even the puzzle explanations feeling dumb. Chill, bro. We just don't have an IQ high enough to deal with the convoluted controls, the constant bugs and glitches, the shitty story. We don't have the IQ, okay? Please show respect to the Crimson Desert Defense Force. The company plans to make 4 million units of its flagship device this quarter, a third less than 6 million it had originally planned to produce. People familiar with the matter said the reduced output rate is set to continue in April, the people said, asking not to be named as the figures aren't public. After a record-setting debut in June, sales of the Switch 2 have failed to meet Nintendo's management's high expectations. Though demand for a lower-priced but profitable variant in Japan was remained strong, sales in the US haven't met with a similar continued success. I think there's multiple reasons why the Switch 2 kind of slowed down in terms of hotness. In my humble opinion, there's a few things. First, I think the Switch 2 as a whole is underwhelming. It's probably one of the most underwhelming Nintendo consoles in a while. Nintendo's known for like innovation and trying things wacky and kooky, but like the Switch 1 to the Switch 2 is pretty safe. It's what you expect from PlayStation and like Xbox. And that's okay. I think that's okay if they would have came out with killer software. I think they've been a little bit slow to come out with the bangers. So I think if they had like 3-4 bangers there day one, them putting out a safe console would have not been a big deal. But because they didn't, I think it highlights how underwhelming the new product is. That's one part. Then the second part, I think the people who were truly excited about the Switch 2, they already got it. Everybody else, you have to work for our dollar. And because there's a lack of exclusives, I don't think it's selling. Third, I think the current climate of the world is a problem too. We can't downplay that. You got the tariffs, you got the war going on in the Middle East, you know, people cutting off waterways. It's hard to get supplies, the RAM shortage. So I think what's also happening too is people are tightening their belts. They don't want to spend money on a new console. We know you PS4 niggas don't. We gonna be on the PS8. They still gonna be talking about the PS4. Like the math was a little tricky. So I think it's a culmination, a stew of just evil shit going on. Why I think the sales are weak, but I mean, you're always one banger away from recovering and getting people excited. Because if you put something on there that people really want, they'll go out of their way and just buy it even if they don't need it. But right now, me personally, I don't have one either, and that's because I'm waiting for the Dust Bloods from software. Until then, I don't really feel the need to buy it. Agreed, they came up. That Mario Kart was underwhelming. And more positive Nintendo Switch 2 news. Marvel Rivals is confirmed for the Switch 2. Okay. Rivals is coming to the Switch 2. It's now been confirmed. Last year, we heard the team was looking into bringing the game over, having reached out to Nintendo. However, we know that this is officially happening. Marvel Games executive producer Danny Koo recently asked by IGN if Marvel Rivals is still under consideration for the Switch 2. As it turns out, the port is already in progress. Koo told the site, "We're working on it, but when we have news, we'll announce that one." He followed up by saying, "We will do it." So when exactly we'll be seeing Marvel Rivals is a mystery at the moment. However, it's likely we'll be seeing it in the next year or two. There's no release window, but it's definitely coming. He said, "Is this coming to PS4?" This is already on the PS4, unfortunately. And because the Switch 2 is a slightly more powerful version than the it's like slightly more powerful than the PS4 Pro. The Switch 2 port of Marvel Rivals is probably going to be ass as well. Unfortunately, it's going to be a little. You know, it actually might be worse than the PS4 version. For the reason being is because the Switch 2 is undockable, and it'll be, yeah, it's on the PS4. It's fucking terrible. Because it's undockable and you can run it off of the battery, that could really fuck with the performance of the game, especially on low battery. I wouldn't get too excited about this, knowing we know the specs for this shit. I would not get. And then if they make this crossplay, I'm not gonna lie. If I'm a Marvel Rivals fan, I'm sweating right now because them PS4 niggas are already fucking up y'all lobbies with the crossplay because they lagging all over the place because they can't load the game. Now you about to get some PS4 junior niggas over here with the Switch 2. If they add crossplay, it's gonna make it even fucking worse, bruh. Can't wait to have my rank matches thrown by a dude on 3% battery. Exactly. You think I'm playing? He's like, it's on yes, it's on PS4. You would never know because you're not PS4. PS4 Marvel Rivals. Let's see, section plays. Fucking play the video. Like, look at this shit. It doesn't even load the fucking textures in. This shit look like a mobile game. These niggas be in the rank lobbies, bro, lagging. Don't let an explosion happen.
Mission area is yours.
That's gonna be the Switch 2 version. I'm not even joking. Because the Switch 2 is comparable to the PS4 Pro, this is what it's gonna look like most likely. This looks awful. It looks horrible, bro. I swear the game moving slower too. If I remember, I think there was some oh, new Punisher got announced. Frank Castle returns in Marvel's television special presentation. It's a 1-hour special on May 12th. The Punisher: One Last Kill. We will be on that Disney Plus. There was some beta footage of the PS4 version. Let me see if I can find it too. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Yeah, there it goes. I knew I posted it. Yeah, if y'all didn't see, this was the beta footage for the PS4 version. So yeah, when your battery on 3% for the Switch 2, that's what it's gonna look like right there, bruh. It's gonna look very... Why is the base boosted? Because the battery, the CPU was swelling up. It couldn't handle it, bruh. So it fucked the sound up and shit. Shit is fucking crazy. I'm looking forward to that special though for motherfucking what was I talking about? The Punisher. That's what the Crimson Desert Defense Force brain look like. Chill. Let them live. They enjoying their product, man. Let them